You ever have a day that starts out real peaceful, like sun shining, coffee's hot, your dog's chasing butterflies out by the barn, and then somehow ends with a crowbar going through the door of your brand new Bentley? Yeah, that was my Tuesday. Now before you judge, let me be clear. I didn't buy the Bentley to show off. I bought it to celebrate. After 20 years busting my back flipping farmland and fighting with banks, I finally closed on the biggest ranch deal of my life. 600 acres in eastern Oklahoma, a house built like a lodge, a river cutting through the back pasture, and peace, or so I thought. But turns out, peace doesn't mean squat when you got someone like Linda Whitaker patrolling your fence lines. Linda folks around here call her HOA Linda, or just the warden. She ain't elected by anybody. She just declared herself president of our little homeowners association about a year ago, after her husband died and left her 20 acres and too much time. She started with petty stuff, finding old man Hargrove for hanging his laundry too close to the road, making the Stevens family paint over their mural cause it didn't match the rural aesthetic. I mostly stayed out of it. Told myself, don't poke the hornet's nest. But she had a special kind of obsession with me. Probably cause my place wasn't part of her HOA. See, I bought my land before the HOA even existed. Technically, my property isn't even inside their jurisdiction. But that didn't stop Linda from trying. She'd leave letters taped to my gate, threaten legal action, even call the county to report suspicious construction when I added solar panels to the equipment barn. I ignored it until she took a swing at my car. I remember it clear as day. I was on my porch, cup of coffee in hand, Rex, my dog, lying beside me. Then I see this golf cart flying down the gravel drive like the world's ending. And there she is, Linda, wearing that wide-brimmed visor and fake pearls like she's about to host a garden party in hell, screeching to a stop, hopping out with a crowbar, and walking straight up to my Bentley. Before I could stand, she raised the thing and BM right into the driver's side door. The sound was awful, metal on metal, like someone snapping a bone. I dropped my coffee. She turned and screamed, "This violates Section 8B of the HOA covenant. Excessive visual disruption." Then she hit it again. Now, I ain't a violent man. Never have been. But for a second, I had to talk myself out of storming down there and snatching that crowbar from her hands. Instead, I walked down slow, calm, not a word until I was 3 feet from her. "You done?" I asked, flat as can be. She gave me that smug little grin of hers and said, "Call the cops. You'll be fined. You're in violation." I smiled back. "Actually," I said, pulling out my phone, "you're trespassing. And that," I pointed to the crowbar, now resting against my bumper, "is felony vandalism." She didn't flinch. "I'm the president of the Oak Valley Estates HOA. I have every right." "Linda," I interrupted, "you're not the president of squat." She blinked. "Excuse me. You don't have jurisdiction here," I said. "And even if you did, you wouldn't anymore." Because, see, what Linda didn't know was that I bought the HOA. Not the whole neighborhood, just the voting rights. See, the original developer had gotten sick of the drama. And when I approached him with an offer to buy out the remaining control shares, he practically threw him at me. Signed, sealed, notarized, and sitting in my truck's glove box. But I didn't tell her that yet. I just stood there, let the silence stretch. Then, like it was planned, I heard sirens. Linda's face went from cocky to confused to real nervous in about 3 seconds. The sheriff rolled up slow, Deputy Mason, who I've known since we were both on the high school wrestling team. He got out and raised a brow. "Linda, what in God's name are you doing?" She puffed herself up. "He's violating the HOA rules. This vehicle is a disturbance." Deputy Mason looked at the Bentley, then at me, then at the crowbar in Linda's hand. "Linda, that car's his. That driveway's his. And you're standing on land that, as far as county records show, ain't under HOA control." She stammered. "We annexed." "No." I cut in, finally handing Mason the documents. "They tried. The county denied it. Twice." He looked it over, whistled low. Looks pretty final to me. But I wasn't done. I reached into my pocket and pulled out another piece of paper. Also, I said, this here's proof of transfer of controlling interest in the Oak Valley Estates HOA. As of this morning, I'm the president. Linda looked like I'd just slapped her with a fish. Her mouth hung open. That's impossible. Actually, it's perfectly legal, I said. As Mason nodded. And since I now oversee all enforcement, I'm officially waiving every fine you've issued for the past year and forwarding your record to the county for harassment review. She dropped the crowbar. Now, that would have been the end of it, should have been. But Linda wasn't the kind of woman to go down quiet. Over the next week, strange things started happening. My mailbox got ripped off. Someone shot out the light above my barn. Then, one night, I found a note pinned to my fence. Just 5 words, scrawled in shaky ink. You don't know the half. That's when I started digging. Turns out, Linda wasn't just running a petty dictatorship. She was laundering money. Real money. The HOA dues. 1/3 of them weren't showing up in the official books. Instead, they were getting funneled into a private account in her sister-in-law's name, some accountant out in Missouri with a fake LLC. The Bentley was never about the car. It was about me getting too close. So I called in favors. Hired a forensic auditor. We found dozens of falsified fines, double-charged dues. Even a fake contractor account billing residents for repairs. That never happened. I took it all to the sheriff, and from there, it moved fast. The county launched an investigation. Linda's accounts got frozen. Her sister-in-law got indicted. And Linda herself? She got arrested trying to shred documents in the back of her garage while her husband stood by looking like he just wanted to disappear. The day they took her away, I stood on my porch. Arms crossed, watching her go. No anger. No gloating. Just relief. And here's the kicker. That same day, a dozen neighbors, people I barely knew, showed up at my gate. Old folks, single moms. Retired vets. One by one, they thanked me. Not because I caught a criminal, but because I stood up. Turns out, most of them had lived scared for years. Scared of fines, threats, retaliation. And now, they were finally free. We had a barbecue that weekend. Played music, drank too much lemonade, let the kids run wild. And as the sun set behind the hills, I sat on my porch with Rex beside me. Finally feeling like this land, this life, was really mine. Now, I don't know what you'd do if someone like Linda came after your land. Maybe you'd fight back. Maybe you'd stay quiet. But I'll tell you this. Sometimes the only way to beat bullies is to own the game they're playing. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever had to deal with a nightmare neighbor, a crooked HOA, or someone trying to take what's yours, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if this hit close to home, give it a like, maybe even share it. This isn't just my story. It's ours. Let's talk.